Good morning and welcome to year number 5 of Pitt to the Point. I'm Ryan Tarabokia.
And I'm Lucy Landy. Pitt to the Point is your weekly 1-hour Emmy Award-nominated news and magazine program that airs live from the state-of-the-art Pitt studios.
Pitt to the Point covers everything from the University of Pittsburgh to the City of Pittsburgh, as well as national and international events, news, people, and stories.
We're back with your favorite segments, such as Alumni Spotlight and Clubbing at Pitt, which showcases one of our amazing student-run organizations.
We'll feature stories from our incredible University of Pittsburgh regional campuses and tell you the top headlines from our neighborly journalists in arms, the Pitt News.
And we'll be joined live by our affiliate college and high school partners and their student anchors who will tell you what's going on in their schools and communities. Now we're statewide, from Pittsburgh to Lancaster to Philadelphia.
And of course, we'll continue to bring you the most up-to-date news from the world of politics, sports, business and technology, medicine, and entertainment in the City of Pittsburgh and at the University of Pittsburgh.
President Donald Trump reaffirmed his stance on Iran's nuclear program during his State of the Union address this past Tuesday.
U.S. officials fear that uranium enrichment in Iran will lead to nuclear armament. Iran remains firm that no nuclear weapons have been created.
After years of standstill and drop deals, the recent negotiations sprang up during a period of political and economic turmoil in Iran.
Both the U.S. and Iran have named diplomacy as the preferred method of negotiation. However, President Donald Trump has stated force may be used if necessary.
Currently, the U.S. is amassing the largest military presence in the Middle East since the Iraq War. As of yesterday, there have been 3 negotiation sessions and another planned with no deal signed.
President Trump warned Friday that limited strikes on Iran are possible. The president is pressuring Iran's government to dismantle its nuclear program. The warning comes as the United States ramps up its firepower in the Middle East. On Friday, the USS Gerald Ford aircraft carrier and 3 other warships entered the Mediterranean Sea. There are currently 13 U.S. Navy vessels in the Middle East, including another carrier, the USS Abraham Lincoln. It is the largest military buildup in the region since the Iraq War in 2003.
The Mexican cartel kingpin, Nemesio El Mencho Oseguera Cervantes, was killed by Mexican military this past Sunday. What followed was widespread violence across the western region of Mexico, particularly in Jalisco.
Members of El Mencho's group, the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, set fires, blocked roads, and clashed with enforcement officers.
In the aftermath, the U.S. Embassy imposed a shelter-in-place order to Americans in Mexico. While the order has since been lifted, a travel advisory remains.
Now, officials are concerned about the El Mencho-shaped hole in the cartel power structure. Continued conflict is possible if individuals and groups vie for power.
Furthermore, while the brunt of the violence seems to have passed, Mexico's position as a host country is currently being questioned.
The 2026 World Cup is slated to hold multiple games in Mexico, while both Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum and FIFA President Gianni Infantino are confident the country will be safe and secure by June. Some are worried cartel conflicts are not over.
As tensions rise between immigration and customs enforcement and the public, students across Pitt's campus have made their voices heard.
While demonstrations have popped up throughout the year, most recently, students protested a job listing from Customs and Border Patrol on a Pitt employment website.
While no official statement has been given to Pitt to the Point, a spokesperson has stated that job listings are not necessarily a reflection of the university's values.
Additionally, according to an article titled Best Practices for Visits by Government Officials, Pitt recommends contacting the Pitt Police if a potential ICE officer approaches you.
Pitt students protesting ICE are not alone. College campuses across the country have seen demonstrations, big and small.
This week, we're joined by Cordelia Stubblefield and Kyle Turnbull, 2 anchors from Miami University's Red Hawk TV, to discuss their campus's recent ICE out protest and administration's response. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so first and foremost, Miami University student organizations like the Ohio Student Association, the Young Democratic Socialists of America, and the College Democrats, organized this ICE out protest in January. So what was that event like for students on campus?
Well, the event itself was very peaceful. Usually, when events like this happen, University Police does show up just to make sure nothing happens, and they were there at that time. Um, it was a pretty notable crowd. People had made signs, and there was some chanting, but there wasn't any violence. It was more of a community building event than anything else. Lots of students were feeling very frustrated, and many showed up to show their support for the event.
Yeah, what was the general response to this event by the general student population?
There was not any sort of backlash. Most of the students agreed that this protest was something that had to be held. It was specifically a walkout. So all of the students that were there agreed that this was more important than class time. And it was pretty much a universally agreed thing that this was what should be happening right now.
Now, Miami University sometimes has the reputation of being a little more politically conservative. Do you think this is a correct assumption? And how common would you say protests like this are on Miami's campus?
Yeah, I would say that's largely a correct assumption. I mean, Miami's located in Oxford, Ohio, and it's surrounded by some deep red rural areas. The Cincinnati suburbs, where Miami pulls a lot of its student body from, are some of the most red suburbs in the country, actually. And Miami's known for producing conservative leaders like our current governor, Mike DeWine, former Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan. So there's definitely some conservative history here at Miami. I would say protests are pretty rare here. It's a pretty politically inactive student body, I would say, as a whole. I would say in my 4 years, this was the largest protest I've seen by a significant amount. Obviously, there was some activity during the nationwide protests over Gaza. There was a No Kings protest, but both of those were much more subdued and much smaller than this, I would say.
Yeah. And kind of going off, so in a now deleted Instagram post, the Ohio Student Association stated Miami University's administration had actually committed or at least heard some of OSA Miami's demands regarding student interactions with white. Do you know what the administration's official stance on ICE's presence on campus? And has there been a response from administration about this walkout?
Well, the walkout clearly made a difference because there was an actual response from the administration. That's not something we get often. So the initial response from the administration was that the university would have to inform students via email, via text, via an alert system we have on campus whenever ICE is on campus. And also that ICE would have to check in upon visiting the university, and that Miami University Police would have to be monitoring ICE and any activity they were doing on campus. I would say the university is yet to really take a firm stance on this. This is obviously a step towards a direction, but the fact that they deleted this post shows that there's some kind of uncertainty. There's some kind of need for clarification. We ultimately don't know what's happening behind closed doors, but the student body has made it clear what we want, and we're going to see if the administration follows through. And it's true that in Hamilton, where we have a branch campus, there is an ICE detention center, which is a major threat to any undocumented students at that campus, most importantly. So the university needs to take a stance here, and we can't say for certain what that's going to be, but maybe this is a step in a direction, in a certain direction.
Yeah, so just going off of that, do you think that, this walkout can inspire future political action on your campus?
Yes, I know for a fact that the Ohio Student Association plans to have more events like this. I spoke with Callie Barcroft, who is the president of that association, and she says that the plan for the organization is to have a community building event once a month, usually the very first Friday of that month. So there will be more events like this to come.
Wow. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been really great to hear your guys' perspectives. Stories like these can only be brought to your ears thanks to hardworking journalists on the ground, or should I say campus, of the University of Pittsburgh.
Similarly, let's see what the writers at the Pitt News brought to our eyes this week, looking at their top headlines.
When you think of an athlete getting ready for a game, You usually think about their preparation physically and mentally to help them be their best. What you don't think about is the way the athletes prepare on how they look and getting their outfits, hair, or makeup ready for the game. Black athletes have been forced to excel in their sport without being quote-unquote too black. You can't wear this, you can't look like that while you compete. Now times have changed, and so have expectations for black athletes, thanks to the legends who have helped change those standards. On January 22nd, David C. Frederick Honors College at the University of Pittsburgh celebrated the 20th anniversary of the Allen L. Cook Spring Creek Preserve gift that was remodeled in Pausvere Hall.
Hi, I'm Dr. Josh Cannon, Director of Research at the Frederick Honors College. And this Pitt Day of Giving, we are celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Wyoming Field Studies program at the Allen L. Cook Spring Creek Preserve. In the last 3 years that I've run programming there, I've seen students push themselves to their limit, hike further than they thought possible, and literally get their hands dirty while collecting data. While we believe the program is already exceptional, your gift to the Wyoming Field Studies program helps ensure further growth and increased impact on the future generations of the Frederick Honors College.
Up next, we're taking you up into the atmosphere, but in more ways than just one.
And learn about the ways you can make something delicious and nutritious while staying in the classroom right here on Pitt to the Point.
This morning, you take your place in this honored tradition. You take your place in a time of great challenge and even greater opportunity.
Community comes at the cost of your comfort zone. You don't just stumble upon community in college, you create it. I hope that your journey outside of your comfort zone eventually leads you to a community that welcomes you exactly as you are. Class of 2029, whatever you're feeling right now, I hope that sometime soon you feel at home.
Congratulations, class of 2029, and good luck to you as you begin your journey.
Can you hear me?
This is interesting.
Is this on? Can y'all see me?
Do I just talk?
Pitt basketball beating WVU in the backyard brawl.
Favorite Pitt memories running out during the backyard brawl. Pitt's a beautiful place. I'm graduating in a couple of weeks. I'm really sad about it. I really am so grateful for the time I've had here.
My favorite Pitt memory was defending my thesis this year.
And ever since the first day of classes, we've been friends because we're directionally challenged.
My favorite memory was all the times I spent with my friends.
I should do it. Working on a movie with one of my good friends.
My favorite Pitt memory was winning backyard brawl at like the last second because I was going to leave.
Going to the Pitt volleyball games and seeing them beat Penn State and Louisville and all the people.
My favorite memory is the photo shoot we just had for the ballet club at Pitt.
My favorite Pitt memory this year was winning the backyard brawl. H2P, baby.
And I just finished my last German class and I started tearing up because after 5 years we finally did it. So yeah, that's probably one of my favorites. It's like nice out, it's beautiful, and I'm like so happy. Bye!
What if you had over 30,000 big thinkers and believers behind you? In a city connected to everything? Well, you'd probably find yourself doing something truly incredible.
Thanks for tuning back in to Pitt to the Point. Happen to watch a story today that piques your curiosity? Want to find out more about what's going on in Pittsburgh? Visit our website.
That's right. If you want to find out more about the world of politics, medicine, business, technology, and more, log on to pittothepoint.com.
Not only can you see clips from today's show, but you can also read about the topics that interest you and more. Check it out at pittothepoint.com. The Environmental Protection Agency is facing deregulation as the Trump administration will be removing the endangerment finding.
This is the largest deregulatory action in U.S. history. The endangerment finding was established during Barack Obama's presidency. With more, we turn to political reporter Maxine Van Norwick. Maxine?
On February 12th, the Trump administration revoked the landmark finding through the EPA of the endangerment finding, which provided the government regulation to regulate greenhouse gases alongside other climate change. While this decision happened a few days ago, many are still confused about the scope and the effects of this problem, leaving students and professionals concerned.
They revoked the endangerment finding for greenhouse gas emissions. So without that finding, the EPA really shouldn't be and doesn't have the authority to regulate any of that particular pollutant. So by taking rid of the endangerment finding, it's basically wiping their hands clean of their opinion on whether or not they have authority to regulate greenhouse gases.
I think that's pretty messed up, honestly, because the endangerment findings, I think that that's very true, that greenhouse gases are a threat to health. Well, definitely doesn't change my intention to go into this field, but it does make me kind of wary.
The authority that went away here is only with greenhouse gases. So those mobile sources still have a variety of other pollutants that are harmful to public health that the EPA still absolutely has the authority and obligation to regulate. So it's not like we just wash our hands of any oversight whatsoever. So I'll say that's actually sort of a positive thing in that a lot of these things, if you reduce one, you reduce the other. So if you have to reduce all these other pollutants, even if you don't want to, you're indirectly having a positive impact on reducing greenhouse gas emissions.
There are options for people if they're interested in taking action on this. You can speak at county council. You can go to one of these Allegheny County Board of Health meetings. We have the power to push for greater regulation at a state level, as well as at county and local levels.
There's a whole lot of things that we can be doing, even if this particular thing got a whole lot harder. And the last thing is, this is going to last, this is a 3-year thing, hopefully. At the end of this administration, we have the opportunity to have a new administration, and a lot of this is, not every bit of it, but a lot of this is, I guess, revocable yet again. So we can kind of restart the effort and try to rebuild what we are losing.
Trust science, especially in this case.
Legal action has been filed against this decision, including a filing in D.C. with the American Public Health Association, the American Lung Association, and other groups. For Pitt to the Point, I'm political reporter Maxine Van Orbeck. Ryan, Lucy?
Thank you, Maxine. Artemis 2, NASA's first step back to travel to the moon, has been delayed until no further than this upcoming April. Artemis 2 will involve sending multiple astronauts out of orbit to the loop around the moon and land back on Earth over the course of 10 days.
The delay was announced after NASA was running tests on the Space Launch System, NASA's largest rocket ever built, which led them to discover a helium leak present in the upper stages of the rocket. This resulted in them transporting the rocket back to the Vehicle Assembly Building at the Kennedy Space Center. This is the second delay this month.
And space flights are not the only dreams being grounded.
Cuts to federal small business grants may find some entrepreneurs in Pittsburgh out of luck. With more on the story, we have business and tech reporter Farah Hendawi. Farah?
Reviewing conflicts of interest and research protections is seen as a mandatory process of translating academic research into smart business practices. Well, at the Office of Research Protections, the racetrack between research and businesses cannot exist without its guardrails.
Is the Conflict of Interest Office. So we are the group that maintains the university, the shared university and UPMC disclosure system. We also use the information to identify conflicts of interest, primarily in research, to ensure that we're protecting the integrity of our university research. I'll use a startup company example. So if we have a faculty member who develops technology here, they work with our Innovation Institute to potentially then create a startup company. And then that's when they would work with the Innovation Institute to potentially option or license that IP to their startup company to further develop and hopefully commercialize it. So that creates a conflict because they are faculty here, they're an investigator here on ongoing projects.
Looking at research misconduct when people actually make up data or fabricate data, we do those investigations. We do radiation safety, biosafety, anything remotely related to compliance with all the federal rules and state regulations that may have to do with research as part of our office. Conflict of interest is only one part of it. For example, I have a company that develops a drug, and then I want to test the drug back here at the University of Pittsburgh. Then, of course, even though I have the best intentions as an investigator, if the drug test is successful, there's always a concern about unconscious bias in terms of looking at the data. That's why we need a conflict management.
The SBIR program involves SBIRs and STTRs. They're two different funding mechanisms, grants to small businesses to help them with their research projects to develop new devices. They involve partnerships with research institutions, so they are very important for our startup companies. The fact that these programs are stalled is negatively affecting the ability of our startups to do that. So these are important programs that have been around for years.
All of the federal research money, the biggest use of it is to hire people, to basically create jobs for people to do the work. And without the funding, they're not going to come. So not creating jobs, not creating innovation here. The SBIR grants can support a small company, which can grow into a large company one day.
Conflicts of interest and research protections cement Pitt's legacy as an academic and research institution. But it begs the question, how will this translate and ignite business innovation in the city of Pittsburgh? For Pitt to the Point, I'm business and technology reporter Farah Hindawi. Now let's look at Pitt Beat reporter Natalie Fogel.
Pitt opened a new building for the School of Health and Rehabilitation Sciences, also known as SHRS. This building has teaching kitchens, and multiple faculty members from SHRS and the School of Public Health collaborated with a culinary class to make planetary health recipes that not only help the human body, but also the earth.
The truth of the matter is, and I say this as a professor, we learn from each other. So student to student, you're going to learn more that way than somebody just giving you the information. But I think in the context of food, it's inherently a communal activity. I mean, this is what brings us together, right? This breaking of bread, and there's nothing more communal than coming together to prepare a meal and then share it afterwards.
While all students were given the same recipe, each group had the freedom to make any preferences on flavors or even cultural preferences.
Public health is about making sure that we protect all communities, young or old, from wherever they live. And nutrition makes sure that we have well-being and we support and grow everything in our body. So it is not only about food and nutrition, it's about how we do that sustainably. And the main ingredient of our dish is lentils. And lentils require the least amount of oxygen to grow. They also require the least amount to prepare. Our dish is influenced by the Caribbean region where I come from. So I come from Suriname. So we have masala in there, we have turmeric in there. You get from all the tables different flavors.
I've done a lot of work with the Office of Sustainability in the Health Sciences thus far. Got introduced to Corey and loved her passion and initiative for incorporating sustainability topics into planetary health. One of my favorite things about this program and the projects that we've worked on is the opportunity to collaborate interprofessionally with other health science students.
Seeing how students from different healthcare disciplines can come together, learn a common skill, take those skills and then spread the word about how food can be used as medicine, how food can help improve wellness and quality of life.
I think in a lot of our programs it's very tunnel vision line. You don't really get a whole lot of interaction with students from other health science schools. So I think opportunities like this are an amazing outlet to kind of interact and get to know other students. And in the future, we're all going to be working collaboratively in our respective healthcare fields. And I think Absolutely, more courses similar to this one should be offered for students to navigate that outlet.
For me, a university is that time when you're trying out new ideas, new skills, new knowledge. The way you do that is you put yourself into new environments. So gaining experience is the soul of a university. And that's why I think, every student should seek from the day they get here to broaden their perspective, try as many new things as they can fit into their life while they're here with us at Pitt. It's not that you can't learn afterwards, but there's very few places you will ever be where there's so many opportunities to try different things.
The new SHRS building includes more than just teaching kitchens. There are many different rooms for all different kinds of health science majors, allowing Pitt students the opportunity to gain even more experience while they're at the university. For Pitt to the Point, I'm Pitt Beat reporter Natalie Fogel. Ryan, Lucy.
Thanks, Natalie. Now we are halfway done, but make sure to stay in your seats to find out what's happening this spring training with the Pirates, as well as an update on the recent success of Pitt women's lacrosse.
But before any of that, we'll take you on a trip to Henderson High School to hear from our college and high school partners. We're up next on Pitt to the Point.
You are why we believe it's possible at Pitt.
We each became a part of something larger than ourselves.
Paige Allen.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Pitt to the Point. Our college and high school partners are giving us the scoop on their communities all across Pennsylvania.
Let's welcome Megan Dean and Caroline Dolan from B. Reed Henderson High, all the way in Westchester, PA. How are y'all feeling?
We're feeling good. How are you guys feeling?
Fantastic.
Ready to hear this story.
The Unified Bocce team is a very special part of our school because it creates a community where students from all over the school and different clubs can join together and work together in a fun sport. It's a very important part of our school.
The team thrives off their teamwork and environment. The uplifting and inviting traits of the club nourish the lifelong bonds that have been made during the game. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, the team comes together to sharpen their skills and prepare for any upcoming games. The pure excitement demonstrated in every game, practice, or bonding event explains the great success they have and are projected to experience in the upcoming season.
Oh, I love bocce just because I love to make all these new friends and just like interact with all these different kinds of people, and it's just such a great experience because it makes me so happy. Typically we practice Tuesdays, Thursdays, and so we'll practice by just setting up these bocce courts and we'll just roll a polina.
My team is very close-knit. We get the job done. We get like more points in. We get like more more matches, and hopefully we will win all this year.
Last year, the team had an outstanding record of 22 altogether, and the Garnet team made a promising run in the playoffs. The team hopes to succeed this year and have started off strong with a win against Octorara. They also have an exciting year for them, as they have been selected to be a part of Pennsylvania's Special Olympics. Come out and support the team at their next match.
Okay. This team does a lot of hard work. Lucy and Ryan?
Well, y'all did not botchy that story, so let's hope we do the same. Women's lacrosse is breaking barriers and building a resume right here on Pitt's campus.
To hear more on their remarkable rise, let's hear from our Pitt sports reporter, Colin Ferguson. Colin?
We may be just 4 games into the regular season for the Pitt women's lacrosse team, but this roster has already found itself well within the record books here in Oakland. For the first time, not only have the Panthers begun ACC play with a record of 2-0, they also find themselves ranked as a top 25 team in the nation. Head coach Emily Boissonneau has been with the roster since its birth as a Division I team in 2019 and believes that her time developing her players has turned them into a force amidst a slate of brutal ACC opponents.
A big part of the conversation has really been like we belong here and that we believe in ourselves. I think that this team has always been extremely resilient and very confident in the team. And now it's just about going out and following the game plan and showing to ourselves that all this work has kind of paid off. I think this team does a really good job wanting that win, and so their fight for the win and that resilience, that grit, kind of what I'm talking about, has really pushed us in the past and is pushing us now. I think there's been a shift this year because now we're going up in the game and we're winning the games, and then now we have to learn how to manage that lead. I think that's probably the biggest shift for us this year is we don't have to play like we're coming back all the time. And I think the Virginia Tech game was a great example of that. We have an early lead. And now when we're making mistakes, we feel like we have to come back, and that's who we have been in the past because we've needed to be that. So our mentality is shifting a little bit in the sense of, okay, now we're winning games. Let's manage this emotion instead of fearing it. I honestly, our fitness has gotten better every year since we've been here, which I think is pretty insane because I don't think that there's a game where we've gone in and we haven't been able to compete when it comes to fitness. The ACC is also the fastest conference in the country, so you have to be fast to compete. So I think that obviously is a huge plus for us. But honestly, I think this team was built off of resilience and character, and so I think now we're at a point where we have the skill and the mental capacity to be in these games. And so our resilience and our character and our grit, I think those are just going to be the pushing points to take us over the edge. Yeah, I mean, we want to play fast. I think that's always been the case. We want to play fast on defense. We want to play fast through midfield, and then we want to play fast on offense, and we want to shoot the ball a lot. We're learning to manage that pace with the pace of the game a little bit. Yeah, I mean, they're a ton of fun to watch. I just think if you're someone that loves sports, that this is a great place to come, and the games are a lot of fun. Like Highmark's a ton of fun, I guess is what I'm saying. And we play the best teams in the country, so you're not going to have a bad game.
There we go. The Panthers take a field trip to South Bend, Indiana in order to face the number 8 ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish on Saturday, with live coverage beginning at 12 noon. After that, they return home to the Steel City to play the Virginia Cavaliers on Wednesday at Highmark Stadium in the South Side. From Pitt to the Point, I'm Pitt sports reporter Colin Ferguson. And now for more sports, we'll send it to our city sports reporter, James Carter. James?
While the weather might not quite show it yet around here, baseball season is just around the corner, and the Pittsburgh Pirates are almost ready to take the field after their busiest offseason in years. Already on with an elite pitching rotation, General Manager Ben Sherrington made it a point of emphasis to add a couple new weapons to the rotation. The team is playing well down south, and is giving fans plenty of optimism and excitement with their play in Bradenton, Florida.
Oh, now the fly ball here for Connor Griffin. That is up towards the green monster and long gone. Second home run of the game for Connor Griffin.
Connor Griffin has been a standout for the Pirates so far in Bradenton, hitting 2 home runs in the team's 16-7 victory over the Boston Red Sox. Griffin is currently ranked as the #1 overall prospect in the MLB's farm system rankings, yet it is unclear whether or not he will join the team on opening day. However, his potential has Pirates fans salivating over what should be a new era of success in Pittsburgh. Ben Sherrington has been active this offseason, adding pieces to complement the Pirates' pitching rotation, including power bats Marcell Ozuna from the Braves and Ryan O'Hearn, formerly of the San Diego Padres.
What they were capable of with this pitching staff.
I love that piece of hitting. Get that run in. That's a veteran hitter trying to knock in the run and give the Bucs the lead. I love it. On the ground and through. Base hit for Ryan O'Hearn. Gonzalez can get to third on that base hit.
So far this spring training, O'Hearn has averaged a 3.75 hitting clip and 4 RBIs, solidifying himself as a piece of the Pirates rotation. Ozuna has also hit a RBI in the team's 2-6 loss over the New York Yankees. However, his inclusion does mean that for the first time in 3 years, Andrew McCutchen will be off the team. The Pirates will return to action in the Steel City on April 4th against the Baltimore Orioles.
The team will play against the Baltimore Orioles later today at 1:05 p.m. and will take the field on opening day against the New York Mets in front of a national audience on March 26. For Pitt to the Point, I'm City Sports reporter James Carter. Ryan, Lucy.
Thanks, James. Okay, I think that for the first time ever, we may be done with sports for now. Nevertheless, our upcoming stories are fun for all ages.
Stay tuned for sensational scents, wonderful wishes, and boxed baked goods breaking records. Up next, only on Pitt to the Point.
Someone a long time ago had an idea that we could change the way we do things. What if you had over 30,000 big thinkers and believers behind you and $1 billion in research to make it happen? With a will that never quits in a city connected to everything, well, you'd probably find yourself doing something truly incredible.
I am so honored and humbled to officially welcome you to the University of Pittsburgh.
Never in our 238-year history has a Pitt education been so much in demand. It's possible at Pitt is not just something we say when you walk in the door. Hail to each of you, hail to possible, and hail to Pitt.
No matter the weather, no matter the season, candles are always a must. You can find them in any apartment or house. Sometimes your roommates may even steal yours, Michael.
And guess what? At this passionate Pittsburgh business, you'll even have the chance to make your own, with your friends, of course. So they'll have no need to steal them. With more, here is entertainment reporter Jade Davis. Jade?
In 2016, an idea started with just a candle and a dream. Kayla Brinka came up with Pittsburgh Candle. Pittsburgh Candle is located in the north side of Pittsburgh. Because of the success of this business, she's opening another location in downtown Pittsburgh. offering many amenities such as candle making and flower making, as well as private run events.
Hi, my name is Kayla Branca, and I own PGH Candle, and soon to be the studio by PGH Candle located in downtown. So I've always been a candle lover, and I could never seem to find a clean burning candle that lasted a long time, that burned evenly the entire way down where you felt you got your money's worth. So we started making candles as a hobby, and we got our first wholesale order back in late 2016, and I kind of thought to myself that I could make this into a business. We created a small line of products, and then another coffee shop wanted to carry them, and then another store wanted to carry them. And then in early 2017, we got our first studio over in Wilkinsburg, where we started making candles up until the pandemic, where we moved into a home studio because it was easier at the time with all the restrictions. And then in a pop-up store at Ross Park Mall. And then the following year, we opened our flagship store in the North Side. And fast forward to 2026, we're opening our second location downtown. We've been doing workshops off-site for a long time. We've partnered with Simmons Farm. We've partnered with a bunch of different breweries around town. And people like to get out and do more than one thing. So it kind of works out for us because when you're making a candle, you need about an hour, hour and a half for that candle to set. So we like adding in another activity there, whether it's learning how to build a bouquet. We have different ideas for our workshops, but that's kind of where it came from. We're going to be featuring those workshops bi-weekly, monthly. We haven't really settled that yet, but we are going to be offering them. We are going to be doing an Easter workshop where you can come and make a Easter candle as well as an Easter centerpiece to take to your Easter Sunday brunch, dinner, whatever you have planned. And that'll be taking place this Saturday before Easter. This building was home to a stationery store for about 160 years. It was one of the longest standing retail stores in Pittsburgh and Allegheny County. Yeah, we just plan to keep that original legacy alive by staying true to what we're doing.
As PGH Candle awaits their opening, Kayla Branca says the idea comes from a unique concept, and she wants Pittsburghers to find something new to do. From Pitt to the Point, I'm entertainment reporter Jade Davis. Brian, Lucy.
Thanks, Jade. Here on Pitt's campus, two students wanted to make a difference in the lives of children facing a multitude of illnesses.
And with the help of Make-A-Wish, these students are more than just club members. They're wish makers.
Many people know about Make-A-Wish and how active they are in the greater Pennsylvania area. Yet, it was not until recently that two students created a club at the University of Pittsburgh for students of all backgrounds to get involved for the cause.
So my roommate and I, Suyen, we're starting Wishmakers on campus, and it's basically Pitt's version of, or like branch of Make-A-Wish. And so what we plan to do this semester is volunteering events at places like UPMC Children's Home, and we also want to do volunteer events directly with Make-A-Wish because Make-A-Wish has a building in downtown Pittsburgh, and we have a representative there that we've been in contact with, and so we're hoping to do a lot of volunteering. And we also want this to be an opportunity for people to gain leadership as well. I started volunteering because I grew up babysitting and I've always loved kids, and I really wanted to volunteer here in Pittsburgh. So I started volunteering at Children's. I volunteer in the NICU, which is really nice. I just get to hold the babies, and yeah, I like it a lot. Sienna and I have both been really involved with children. She's volunteered at the Children's Hospital back home for like 3 years now. And then I volunteered at UPMC Children's for almost a year now. And so we're both very involved with children, and we really wanted to join a Make-A-Wish club here at Pitt, and then we realized there wasn't one. And so that's kind of just what got us going. We contacted the girl at Make-A-Wish, and we were kind of just like, we wanted to start like Pitt's chapter of Make-A-Wish, and that's kind of just like what got it rolling.
I then asked what events they had planned for their club meetings.
What we plan to do is make cards for Wish kids who are just starting out their journey, And we just hope that that brings them some joy in a difficult time. And yeah, we just plan to make homemade cards, and then our contact for Make-A-Wish is going to deliver them. We plan on doing a Wish Week, which for those who don't know what it is, it's something that the Chi Omega sorority does. It's basically a whole week full of philanthropy and fundraising events just to raise money for Make-A-Wish. So for example, you could do like a bake sale or like hot chocolate sale since it's like the winter. But yeah, we just plan to raise money through that.
Now, Lucy, my brother may have gotten the sweet tooth in my family, but that has never stopped me from eating Thin Mints by the sleeve.
Well, Ryan, if you tried to buy Girl Scout cookies from a certain Scout, you wouldn't be alone. You'd actually be one of over 100,000. We turn over to a former Girl Scout and our current City Beat reporter, Michaela Albers, for more. Michaela?
Girl Scout cookie season is here. And for many Scouts, that means the tried and true door-to-door selling method. But some have taken to social media to enlarge their customer base. Now, the money from these boxes go right back into the troops for the kids and the families to embark on more adventures. Girl Scout cookie selling just got easier. With social media and personalized sites, Girl Scouts across the country can reach customers quicker.
It has changed quite a bit, especially with like the online orders now. It used to be that you had to like find a Girl Scout, and now you can actually like kind of like put in orders for a Girl Scout on her like online orders. Nowadays with like social media, it's like crazy how many orders you can get and stuff. So that is a big role in it. The cookie sales definitely boost the amount that your troop is able to do, and it really does give back towards the girls. So that's always really fun to see, because I know that like the girls who are able to make that money, they're going to be able to go on extra hiking trips, extra like camping trips, or we were able to sign up for like boating classes.
One little girl has been able to sell over 115,000 boxes of cookies thanks to TikTok. Pittsburgh native Pim Neal went viral after her father posted her cookie sales pitch over the platform. Although she hasn't stopped there. The 6-year-old is continuing to up her goals and is planning to sell more cookies until the season is over. In studio today, I am joined by 6-year-old Girl Scout and Pittsburgh native Pim Neal and her father. How are you feeling today, Pim?
Good.
Good? So I heard that you have sold over 115,000 boxes of cookies.
Yeah.
How does it feel being the top seller of Girl Scout cookies in Pennsylvania?
Good.
We are so proud of her. It's incredible. No one planned for this. And so just being able to see her and the example she's been able to set, and it's just been mind-blowing. And we're so proud of her.
So, you know, this all started with a viral TikTok video. When you posted the video of Pim giving her cookie pitch, did you ever think that it was going to reach the amount of viewers that it did?
No, we had 1,206 followers on TikTok. And when we posted the very first video, which is the one in the red dress, and there's, you know, a badge for if you make a video and put on your digital site. So I asked her every day for like the first 12 days that was available. It was like, no. She finally said yes. She's like, what should I say? I said, well, tell them your name and see if they want to buy cookies. And we hit record, and that started it. Well, as we grew to more, Pim tackled the fundraising 101, tell people exactly what you need. So the video that launched her viral success was, I think it was her third one. It was the one where she asked for 10,000 boxes. And in a 12-hour period, I wound up making a Facebook post going, when she asked for 10,000 boxes, she did not mean you had to do it right this moment. But by then they'd already done 16,000. And the next morning, with 3 minutes to spare in a 24-hour period, she had sold 20,008 boxes in that 24-hour period, because she was so direct about what it is that she needed to accomplish. And from there, it's just been growing.
Wow. And you recently got to meet Mayor Corey O'Connor, who dubbed Pim Day.
Yes, February 20th. Every year in the City of Pittsburgh will now be Pim Neal Day.
How did it feel being in that room with the mayor and getting your own day?
Good.
Good?
It was really exciting, and we did not know it was going to happen.
I ate some of the mayor's Thin Mints.
You ate some of his Thin Mints?
I had a hope. package.
He was very nice and shared Thin Mints with her. And we're just so proud of her because, I mean, a lot of 6-year-olds right now, they're just, you know, trying to figure out like what outfit they're going to put on. And here she is strategizing how we're going to sell the most cookies.
Excuse me.
Good manners.
So, you know, we've seen Pim in a lot of light in the media over being a Girl Scout, but you know, what else does Pim like to do for fun? I mean, she's just 6 years old. I'm sure there's a lot of different activities she's gotten to try. What is kind of her thing right now?
What do you want to answer the question? Do you want to talk about what you like to do for fun?
Color and watch my iPad.
She likes to color. She likes to watch her iPad. She also enjoys going to the trampoline park. Her baseball team is about to start back up again. And then this year we're going to add new experiences like going to camp and a couple other cool places. Like she'll get to see Niagara Falls. We're very excited for road tripping to take up. And then her favorite place in all of Pittsburgh, I believe, is Kennywood. And she loves going there.
So, you know, Pim's story is inspiring to a lot of young Girl Scouts, especially this is her first year. And, you know, just as a kind of a wrap up, what do you hope for her to inspire in other little girls?
Well, it's been really cool because even like there's 111 councils and they all have different rules. And a lot of people are really disappointed that some of their council's rules don't allow this kind of thing. And the type of growth that you have, learning where to find things on a map, learning how to like prepare these deliveries en masse, communicating with people. We got a message yesterday. I don't know which council, but a mom was so excited because their council finally changed the rules and told the girls, let's do it. And we're watching how, when this started, you'd have to go looking on TikTok for Girl Scout cookies. Now we open TikTok and we see so much creativity. The teenagers who've put in so much work to make more in-depth videos that are cool. And we're just so excited for all of the avenues and the way that she's inspired leadership, the way that Girl Scouts of Western PA spoke to us as parents, because after cookie season, there's a lot of money that the girls get to decide how to spend, and helping us figure out what opportunities our daughters can put together for meaningful things in our community. So we're very excited about what all of that means for us and for her and what she and her troop is going to bring forward. And we're excited that this weekend she finally gets to live her dream of selling cookies at a booth.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. And don't worry, if you haven't gotten Girl Scout cookies yet, the troops here in Pittsburgh are selling until March 22nd. For Pitt to the Point, I'm City Beat reporter Michaela Albers. Ryan, Lucy?
Well, she might have a few more sales happening here in the Pitt to the Point studio. So we'll have to see how that goes.
I might have to open my checkbook. So the show is almost over. But wait, I think I hear the people of Pittsburgh calling for an encore.
Well, I think our regional campus reporter, Nathan Newbar, might just have what they need. And stay tuned for a story that will have you up in arms. All this and more right after the break on Pitt to the Point. Ryan, the show so far has just been music to my ears. What else do we have in store?
Well, Lucy, Johnstown may join that choir of good news with their symphony. Let's hear from our regional campus reporter, Nathan Newbar, with the story. Nathan?
The Pascagoula Performing Arts Center is celebrating their 35th anniversary with the Johnstown Symphony Orchestra. The Johnstown Symphony Orchestra has been with them every step of the way.
When the Pasquarella Performing Arts Center was built, it officially became the home of the Johnstown Symphony Orchestra. It is an incredible venue. I think it's very surprising when people first come to the venue and are like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize this is here in Johnstown. It offers a wonderful opportunity for people of the public to come and experience a beautiful event or a concert.
It is very important that we serve the campus and the community, and we do so by presenting the performing arts, by being a venue where a lot of times young people in the area, in the Laurel Highlands, it's their first experience. I'm lucky to say that we have the collaboration of many arts organizations, such as the Johnstown Concert Ballet, River City Brass Band plays here too, as well as the Johnstown Symphony Orchestra. Our stage crew is majority students, so they actually help run the PPAC. Without them, we couldn't do what we do, and the fellow arts organizations couldn't present and perform in the community.
We have a lot of musicians that also perform in Pittsburgh with the Pittsburgh Opera and the Pittsburgh Ballet and the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra as well. Our music director is James Blatchley. He is a Grammy award-winning artist and musician, and he was also nominated last year for 2 additional Grammys as well. We really are trying to make sure that it's accessible to anybody at any type of economic status that they currently are. So we actually have a ticket called Pick Your Price. It begins at $10, and it is an opportunity for anyone in the community to come and just see what we're all about without having a huge financial investment into our concerts. We have seasoned subscribers who have been with us since the Pasquarella Performing Arts Center has opened and have had the same seats for literally decades, which is really neat. So again, we're tied to the hip. For us to be able to have successful concerts, it's really important that our venue is able to uphold those expectations for the quality of music we're trying to perform for the region.
The Pasquarella Performing Arts Center. Their next show will be on March 14th. For Pitt to the Point, I'm regional campus reporter Nathan Newbar. Ryan, Lucy.
Thanks, Nathan. Now, the University of Pittsburgh Alumni Network is one that reaches far and wide.
Today, for our Alumni Spotlight, we highlight a distinguished individual who's found long-lasting success.
I'm Bill Pietrogallo. I'm a Pittsburgh native, born and raised in Highland Park, live in Shadyside, not far from the Cathedral of Learning. And I was at Central Catholic High School, 1 year at Loyola University in Rome, Italy. And then I attended University of Pittsburgh School of Law. And I've been practicing law here in Pittsburgh ever since then, 55 years counting. In my career, I was privileged to represent 2 of Pittsburgh's largest law firms when they got sued. I also did a lot of airplane crash cases. A number of years ago, I was asked by the justices of our Supreme Court to serve on the disciplinary board of the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, and indeed for 1 year to serve as the chairman of that board. I love my work. I love the challenge of litigation. I love the challenge of helping clients. I sometimes can't believe that my clients actually pay me for studying new subjects. One of the books on my shelf over here is a book about nuclear energy. They actually pay me to study nuclear energy, and I'm learning something, and then we use it in their cases. But that's an example of the privilege I feel I have as a lawyer to get to learn new subjects and apply them in different contexts, and then finally, if necessary, in a courtroom.
Well, Ryan, today marks our final show as anchors here on Pitt to the Point.
But don't you guys worry. We will be back on air this semester and maybe even getting involved behind the scenes. It has been our pleasure to bring you all of the news across the city and University of Pittsburgh, as well as news from all across the world.
Tune in next week at 8 a.m. to check out our new anchors, Kaylin Davis and Colin Ferguson. Take my word for it. They're bringing their A game.
A special shout out to our news director, everyone in the studio producing, and our technical directors, and to our floor director, David Cook, making our lives so much easier. But until next time, so long and farewell. I'm Ryan Tarabokia.
And I'm Lucy Landy. Thank you for watching us and everybody else on Pitt to the Point.